this meeting to order. All rise for the Pledge of Allegiance. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. So there was a few additions to the agenda under consent agenda I, under action items G and H. That should be it. Unless there's anything else, can I get a motion to approve the agenda?
Second.
All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, motion is carried. Open forum, if anybody would like to speak, they can come up here and talk for a little bit. All right, no one there. Okay. Approval of the minutes, bills, investments. There's a donation resolution, 20-26-19, Roving Hillbillies Snowmobile Club, $500 towards the Melrose Fire Department. Gambling resolution for St. Mary's, a gambling resolution for the Melrose Lions. There's a gambling resolution for the Chamber of Commerce. There's a donation resolution number 2026-23 from Pliant Dairy Ingredients for $1,000 towards the Melrose Fire Department. And there is a donation, resolution number 2026-24 from the Melrose Lions for $2,500 for the Chamber of Commerce for Riverfest. Can I get a motion to approve?
I abstain from G and I.
Okay.
So move. Second.
All in favor, say aye. Aye. Opposed? With an abstain for 2, motion is carried. We're on to reports. Police chief report. Chief?
Yes, in March 26th in our traffic area, we had 32 citations, 64 verbal warnings, 3 written warnings. In 2026, we had 270 calls and requests for service, 25 was 277. At the end of March 25, we had 772 calls overall for the year, and this year we're at 868, so we have about a 96 call increase in that area. Agency assists were up by about 6 or 8 of them so far. Agency assists at 18 for this month. They've been hovering closer to 10 in the previous months. We've had a few accidents in the area, as well as the state patrol being out of position, or other units being out of position for a driving complaint or something similar to that. So we help them out until either they can get there or we take care of it for them. A couple areas to discuss. Weather's changing, so we got more people biking, walking dogs, doing all those sorts of things. Be careful. Watch for them. Watch for people at the crosswalks, those sorts of things. We want everybody to be able to enjoy the warm weather and be safe. The parks are technically not open till May 1st. Be careful when you're in them. There's soft areas all over the place. We just don't want anything getting wrecked until things can dry out a little bit better, but we do want people out there to enjoy them. So take advantage of that, but just be cognizant.
I also see that they put a crosswalk in over by Ron's Oil and Quick Trip.
Yeah, they updated that. It's been in there for just a bit. Yeah, last fall it went in, so it's probably something new for overall usage, but yeah, it's something to be aware of.
Okay, well, good. Thank you. B, Community Development Director report. Sheila?
Yeah, work continues on the downtown Genio redevelopment project. We will be working on a phase 2 environmental work and preparing for a closing with Genio. And we're also starting to work with some contractors on demolition ideas and bid packs and ideas for the parking lot location. Permit applications for window sidings, roofings, and decks are starting to pick up, being spring, and we want to encourage homeowners with plans to email or stop by to discuss those permits. This does include porches, driveway expansions, and sheds. Those need permits as well, so this is just a reminder that we need to talk to you about those. The Planning and Zoning Commission is preparing for some rezoning, including the Genio site and Stearns Electric properties. Both will be moving from industrial use to more commercial applications and allowing, in the case of Stearns Electric, for the daycare facility. The park board has decided to open a dog park on a trial basis. They have decided to utilize the hockey rink by Centricare. I believe this is what the city of Sauk Center tried as well before they went to a full dog park. This is just a way for us to try to see if it's utilized by people and if there is responsible pet ownership practices. So we will see how it works and whether it is a popular option. The Streets Parks Department has received its bench order, so we are going to be promoting the bench program again. Those were really welcome additions throughout town where people sponsor, the benches for people to sit, when they're on their walks. And two dates I just want to remind people of. Saturday, May 16th is Citywide Cleanup Day. That is the day that West Central comes and puts the dumpsters here in our parking lot for people to bring their things as they're cleaning their homes. And Wednesday, May 20th is Hazardous Waste Day, which will be held at the fire hall for your paints, chemicals, light bulbs, and things. So just a reminder to people about those two dates. That's all I have.
Thank you.
All right. City engineer report, Dave.
All right, good evening. Quick update on the later in action items. We're going to be approving the bids, or asking us to approve the bids for the 2026 Street project. I want to use my report here to tell you a little bit about what changed since the last meeting when we presented that to you guys. Andrew and I met out on Daylight Court and looked at the curb out there. We're planning to just replace the pavement and remove the bumps. That curb is heaved so badly out there that we had to up the improvements a little bit. So we had $24,000 budgeted. We did it as an alternate in case it came in really high or something that we could pull it out. But it came in pretty good, as you guys see in the packet there. So basically a little more robust improvement out there. We're going to replace a couple of catch basins, relays, some storm sewer pipe, and get that fixed up the right way with some additional curb and gutter work. So it was a tough winter for that particular area of town. So we got the opportunity to get there in as an alternate. Like I said, thankfully the bids came in fine. I think we'll go, I recommend that we go that route. But that's what changed from the last meeting as far as my bidding for 2026. So questions for me?
Thank you.
Thanks, Dave. Mr. Mouse will speak for point of contact for administration.
Yes, I'm definitely learning either running two departments is a lot of work, or there's a lot more upstairs than I ever expected to be done. But anyway, get a lot of adventures up and down the steps and keeping apprised as much as I can anyway. Had a meta board meeting. There was a discussion about the old Jenny-O turkey store since the last council meeting, and then receiving notice from Deed related to the redevelopment grant. So that's being worked through. She was doing a nice job on that. Public Utilities Commission did some discussion and selection to put power underground for County Road 169. There's a county project happening there, and they selected a low bidder for that. That kind of got pushed our way a little bit faster than we would normally expect to do those things, but it's come along pretty nicely. Met with several companies related to water wastewater plant and a pump and blower building project. Rice Lake was selected there, and our engineer Nero will be working with them to get things put together, and probably going to be about a 1.5 to 2 year project, get that all up and running and done. Discussion about the electric line supervisor position, posting, evaluating wages, those sorts of things. I believe that should be coming out either tomorrow or early next week. And then also a conversation about journey line worker. Things were happening as well. Currently we have one and we have 2 apprentices. The goal is to get at least 1 more in there to help out with our current workload, and potentially 1 more was discussed as well. Special joint meeting was held earlier this week with the PUC related to the city administrator wage scale for the upcoming posting. Labor negotiations and contracts were reviewed and considered for the new labor group. Yeah, otherwise we've got current staffing going on, some construction scenes about to start making it busy. Sat in on a quarterly ambulance meeting with Centricare and the ambulance department. That's been a new thing for the last year or so. They went from monthly now to quarterly. Things have been working out better between the 2 departments. We're just trying to get things ironed out with Centricare's movements on what they need and don't need, and what the ambulance maybe has to now purchase or lease to continue with the services there that was generally provided before. April 6th, we hosted the County Commissioners Board out here. They used to go on the road. COVID happened, then now they're bringing that back, and they selected Melrose for this year's meeting, which was probably a good option. They had the discussion related to the DNR allows now for rifle hunting, for deer hunting in all zones, and we're a shotgun zone currently. And then it was open for discussion, a public hearing. Sounds like they'll decide on the 21st of April on what they would like to do with that ordinance. But estimates that Sheila and I had from being there that night, and whoever else was there, about 275 between all of our meeting areas here, and about another 25 sitting out in the hallways. So we had about 300 people 70-some people expressed their concerns or opinions, and very well respected, went very well. Longer night, very toasty here, but turned out pretty well. Jackie's working on the audit for next week, or the auditors will be here next week, so that'll be a full week for her. Post office contacted the mayor with requests for anybody that's parking on the streets to stay away from or not block any mailboxes. It seems to be becoming an issue for the postal carriers. They won't or cannot deliver as efficiently when that happens, so please be aware for your neighbors and everything like that. We have had some late additions to the council meeting. Would the council prefer special meetings instead, or would the late additions depend, maybe it's depending on what they are. If there's too much research to be done, maybe we try and push it and have a special meeting, or what's kind of the consensus?
A lot of times, try to get everything in line by Thursday or by Friday afternoon of the week before. It gives us as council members to be able to contact people if we have questions or concerns. And that's one thing that I've always said, if I have questions, then I have Monday, Tuesday, and Wednesday, even Thursday morning to talk to administration or department heads if I have concerns about something, especially when we're, spending taxpayer dollars. So,
Okay.
if it's a hard pinch, I understand. If we need a special meeting for something very special, yeah. Otherwise, sometimes it might have to wait.
Okay.
But do what we can to get the city business done.
Just wanted to get some direction or an idea, so.
Rest of council, how do you feel?
I agree.
Mark?
Seems reasonable, yeah.
Don't know if I missed anything on that, but that's what we got for the month.
All right, sounds good. We are on a new business, city administrator position profile discussion. Is Pat here?
Yeah, Pat Melvin is on via Teams meeting from David Drawn Associates. He's here to present the city administrator profile. The profile is basically the advertisement for the position. The PUC reviewed it on their end. It sounds like they made the approval on their end anyway, and this is for the council's opportunity to take a peek at it. I know it was originally sent out. If there's any adjustments that need to be made or any questions that the council has.
Good evening, Mayor, council, staff. Thank you for allowing me to participate remotely with you this evening. First matter of this, for feedback. First matter of business. Yes, I can hear you. Am I coming through?
Yes.
The first matter of business is just to get your feedback on the profile. The profile is intended to be the primary tool, and so if there are any changes to text or pictures, photos that were included, I'm just looking to kind of get your approval that the profile looks good and is something that I can start sharing with individuals as I'm looking to draw people to apply for the city administrator position.
Has a council had time to look through it? I know, Mark, you and I have talked about it. Have
Yeah.
any concerns or anything?
Like Jenny,
Yeah, just to like Jenny,
and then the pay rate got adjusted too,
okay.
or pay scale that was listed there.
Yeah.
So yes, as I believe Chief Moss brought up, we will be adjusting the salary from $119,304 to $150,010. So we will make that change to the front, if you approve of that, based on what I heard earlier this week.
That would be
Okay. Just making sure.
Is that good? Yeah,
Yeah, we
that's-
voted on it, so. it
That's
should be-
what we wanted, yes.
Okay.
And I think the area that Pat maybe had a question on is if you did a higher wage on the top end of the scale, which then when you step it back percentage-wise, they're 4% increases over a 4-step process. That then may have adjusted, I didn't catch your numbers on the front end, Pat, but it may have adjusted what was originally 119,304, it may have adjusted that higher. Is that correct, Pat? I didn't catch your number.
We were already over the mid-max though, weren't we?
So I guess I didn't fully understand your question, Chief Moss. 4% on top of that?
No. So the top end was $150,000 was agreed upon by the council and commission for that pay range, but the way the city is set up for the four-step process that we have, the finance director stepped it back 4% 4 different times, basically to get here's our start, that gets us up to $150,000. So there's, I mean, over a 4-step period, it's a 16% change. So I don't remember, Jackie, did you have that number? Yeah, she's trying to check the number. So it might make that 119,304, that was an original starting salary, or the beginning of our range, that might move a bit because the 150 on the top end,
Okay.
the way that we currently have our step program set up. 4 steps is generally what each department has from start until top out, so that 119 might be a bit different. And I don't know how to do that on a calculator, but.
And I can certainly check in with you, you know, before we go out with posting, to make sure that bottom number is correct, yes.
Okay.
For the starting wage.
And maybe that's an area for the council to be aware of or comfortable with, I guess, is that if, because of the 150 on the top end, that 119 might become 122, 121, or whatever that number is, I don't know.
I kinda took it as it could stay at 119, and then we move the top one up just to make the spread bigger, so.
Yeah, that's what I
Cause they
understood.
may not, if they don't qualify on their resume, they may not ever reach the 150 if you start, you know, if you started them at the minimum, for example, maybe they don't get to the 150, but if they have all the qualifications and they start at 125 or whatever, then they would reach that. That was kind of how I understood it in the.
And that's part of the reason I brought it up, is that because of the way our steps are currently, they're a 4% increase over the 4 steps, that might change, or Jackie might have to work some magic.
So it's typically like, so the high is 150 and then we work back from that. So that the bottom range, what it used to be, will be higher. And I can run and grab this number if you want to see it now.
Or, I don't think so.
I guess otherwise the
as
other
long as
area
we
would be
know.
is that those increases, like she says, she works back from 150, those increases might not be 4%, they might be bigger because the top end went higher and the bottom end stayed the same.
Oh, I see.
So it might be a 6% increase in each step as opposed to a 4% that we're used to within the city.
Well, like Pat's saying, if we fix that before posting, we don't have to vote on that number tonight, do we? Like to increase the minimum?
I think that you have to approve the new pay scale.
Okay.
Mhm.
So I can run and grab it as we're talking about it.
Sure.
I thought that's, you know, I thought we all agreed on that. It was just, it's within so much. I mean,
Right.
We were already.
Do we have to have the
102%,
exact numbers?
So we're already 2% over the mid-max.
Yeah.
So there shouldn't be a huge change between it.
no.
I'm comfortable with that, I just wasn't sure that it, I guess I didn't know if we broke it down.
I just don't remember the
Backwards.
percentages on hand.
Yeah.
Right, so do we have to have the numbers to vote on, or can we just vote that the numbers get adjusted to?
You should really
To meet the
technically approve the pay scale.
Okay, so,
Approve it with
Then
the
if you-
adjustments
yes,
if
please.
needed.
yeah,
That's fine. I know we talked about moving it up, but
I didn't
was
realize
thinking
that
it just
was,
made this, the scale.
I thought that's what we
wider.
moved it up to, was the 150.
Yeah, we did.
The
yeah,
top
that's
side.
the
She's
top
talking
side.
about-
That part's good.
So we're
That
talking
part's
about the
great.
other 3 steps.
Yes.
is what you're saying.
I wonder if I got a scale.
I was thinking
I-
I was gonna stay at 119 and go to 150.
And so did I. I thought those levels would stay.
And it very well could, it'd just be a matter of those percentage increases in a 4-step system would be different percentage increases than what the rest of the city is operated off of.
Right, but if we would level it out.
Because in theory, when you start at 84% of whatever the highest value is, and then you get a 4% increase, you're at 88. Right? You know,
Yeah.
that's how it generally has worked in the city.
Right.
But if those percentages need to be changed or adjusted, I believe that's within your guys' ability to do so. It's just a matter of that, Jackie needs to be aware of that.
Okay,
I
But to
think you're
Travis's
gonna-
point, they might not start on the bottom, they might start in the middle of the first tier.
Yeah, we might start on step 2 or 3, that all depends.
but then that would still be accurate. You'd wanna use your potentially 4% if you started them at somewhere in the middle. It would still, you wanna still match to the 150 is what you're kind of saying.
Right, yeah, you wanna have, either you wanna base all of your salary off the minimum, or you wanna base all your salary off the top, and either work backward or forward.
And we did
From what I learned.
discuss to go to 150, so that part wasn't in question. I just thought we
Yeah.
were leaving a bigger gap in there, but. Does, Pat, do you have anything on that? Like, are we on track with adjusting the minimum?
You know, I would say, I mean, if you, obviously, if you have a consistent step with other groups and you want to maintain that, I would typically start at the minimum and work off of that. But certainly when it comes to attracting applicants for the city administrator position, you know, you may have some highly qualified people.
Thank you, Jackie.
So I would say be consistent with what you've been doing with salaries in the past, and, you know, maybe Jonas would, I believe, agree with being consistent in terms of how you treat salaries, ranges.
As long as you're comfortable.
With a 3%.
But I can certainly work with Chief Moss and HR, and we can, you know, get that lined up. You know, it's obviously going to be somewhere in between that range of, you know, 119 to 150, and we'll just make sure that it's consistent with what the city has done in the past in terms of how they establish the pay ranges.
So we'd want to make a motion according to the paperwork that you gave us then?
Approve the new pay scale.
Pay,
Yeah.
new pay scale.
Right.
Does anybody have any questions with it?
Do we have to? I still don't, because even if you advertised it at the original price, you could still start them somewhere in the pay scale, right? To still make this work.
For example, like if
Could
we,
you repeat?
go ahead.
All right, so the old starting rate was 119,304. So the new one that Jackie just calculated was 126,000. Even if you advertised it at 119, the candidate came in and said they wanted to negotiate, and you negotiated up to 126, it still would work out, right?
Could you state that question again? I'm sorry, it's breaking up a little bit in terms of my hearing the question.
Does the microphone help?
No.
No, it doesn't.
Yeah,
I was saying, even if we advertised the position at the original $119,000, if we had somebody new come in, we could still offer at 126, even if we didn't advertise at that rate. Right, you can always go up, that's the first negotiation point.
it's, what we're advertising is we're advertising a range. It's up to you as the council to determine, based on their experience, based on their education, where will they fall within that range? So, yes, you can pick any number within that range. Obviously, if you get somebody who's coming in with, you can't go lower than that, and I would not recommend that you obviously go higher. The top is the top, but yeah, anywhere within there is perfectly fine.
Typically,
But you probably will want to stay on your steps,
yeah, when we hire someone, they'll.
if you can.
Say we offer them to start at like step 1 or 2, and then you say in the offer letter, within a certain long period, you qualify to move on to the next step. So usually, like what's on this pay scale, step 1, and then you increase to step 2, step 3, step 4. Like that's inside my experience. It's what we've done.
So the candidate has no negotiation power, is what you're saying?
Yeah, but then they would probably try to negotiate to.
Step 2.
Just to go to the, okay,
Yeah.
Or something else, and then no more vacation or whatever.
gotcha.
You typically don't negotiate with someone to fall in between two steps, because then it throws off their increases. So typically, you know, you try and put them into one of those steps so that they know going forward, this is the amount of increase that they'll be looking at in future years, and they kind of know where they are on the schedule.
Thank you.
Does that make sense?
That makes sense.
It clears it up for me.
That clears it up for me too.
Okay. I'd make, if we're gonna do 150, which is what we discussed at the joint meeting, then I'd make a motion to follow the
Are-
first.
Are there
Yeah.
any other changes to any of the text, to any of the photos that you think would better represent the city of Melrose?
Anybody?
I didn't see anything,
I didn't have any.
really.
No, I was happy with everything.
Yeah.
Look good.
All right, everything looked good according to everybody here?
So maybe the other question would be, then, Pat, what would you believe, if everything's approved tonight, what would you believe maybe we can kind of put in application dates and then ranges, or is that something that more would be a discussion after this is all approved, or should we have that figured out tonight?
My thought is that if the council can figure it out tonight, I would probably start possibly tomorrow or Monday with getting it posted and starting to conduct outreach.
Okay. And then what is your feeling for a range as far as if application, or if process can start on Monday, as far as posting of the position, what is your feeling for the application range then, or maybe some of those dates towards the end?
Typically, what we do is we post for a period of 4 weeks. And so during that time, I'm obviously doing outreach. Individuals may apply right away. We have found historically that you do have a number of people who are made aware of it, but wait until close to the posting closing, and then they do apply. But we'll wait until the end of the posting, and then at that time, I'll evaluate and determine which individuals to forward onto the council to consider for further consideration. You as a council will then have an opportunity to look at the video interview, to look at their resume, their cover letter, their work personality index, as well as their information disclosure statement. Based on that information, you'll have a better idea of who is a good fit for the city of Melrose, and those people will then be invited into interviews. The one thing that I would like to have a brief discussion after you approve the profile is about interview dates. One of the things that we have found is makes the process go smoothly is if we can put into the profile, if you look on the last page there, we typically have the finalists will be selected and final interview date posted. What we want is we want individuals to know in advance that this is the date that you as a council are going to conduct interviews. We don't want to go ahead with the process and then find out that several of our finalists have other commitments and are unable to make the interview date. So if we can let them know well enough in advance, that's oftentimes very, very important to keep things moving and make sure that we don't have individuals applying who have conflicts, and then break up the interview schedule.
Yeah, makes sense.
What are we thinking?
You guys have dates in mind, or?
Would you do these during the day, or would you like them after hours? What is your feeling?
Typically, what we do is when it comes to interview day, we typically schedule it in the morning. We have interviews, we're probably looking at, what I recommend is 4 to 5 candidates, simply because you may have things change for individuals. They may no longer be able to relocate, they may have life changes, they may even have another application out there and take a different job. So I recommend that you have about 4 to 5 candidates invited in for interviews. We do it in the morning, and then early afternoon is when you as a council are making a decision. We do have, as we get into talking more about what you want to see scheduled for interview day, certainly the council is the one who's making the decision, but if you'd like, you can have, staff or members of the public also conduct separate interviews and then provide feedback, not make the decision, but provide feedback to you as the council as to who they liked and why they liked certain individuals, how they would fit within the organization, what strengths they would bring. That information could be shared with you to help you in making that decision. You don't have to. I'm just saying that that's an option in our process.
All right. Well, first off, is there certain days that work best for everybody here? Or what does not work?
I'm pretty flexible except for the last week in June.
Mondays and
Can I
Wednesdays
maybe
are good
toss,
for me.
if I can maybe toss out possible interview, would June 29th or 30th, that would be a Monday or a Tuesday. I don't know if either of those dates would work for the full council and for staff.
Thinking that.
Should.
Be able to use the council chambers for interviews.
Yeah, we should be able to.
As long as you know in advance, can shuffle.
If it's in the morning, we can use it on the 29th, I think. I don't know.
Let's see here.
We're talking all the way on June, right?
Yeah.
June 29th and 30th.
Yeah, I'd be available.
I'm free, 29th, 30th. Just let me know exactly which date we'll do, and I will, whatever, I'll be there.
Do you want us to nail a date now?
Yeah, certainly, if that's an option, it would be preferred so that we can get it into the posting and we can let candidates who are applying know in advance. If you're applying, you have to be available on this date to come in for an interview so that we
So can I vote for
don't
Tuesday the
encounter a lot
30th?
of
Well,
scheduling
let's just-
conflicts.
Can we just ask them first, would you, what would you think would be better to get more people, a Monday or a Tuesday, or, you know, if,
You know, with giving them advance notice like we are, I think whatever day works best for you as council members, I think whatever fits into your schedule, the candidates will, knowing in advance, will make it work with their schedules if they want to apply for the position. Yeah.
yeah. So you're looking at Tuesday would be
I
your
vote
better
for
day?
Tuesday, but,
Tuesday.
Tuesday will work? Yeah, Tuesday would work.
okay. June 30th.
Okay, great. Tuesday, June 30th?
So Pat, I'll also pass this information along to the Public Utilities Commission since they have a 50/50 is how the city administrator position is governed or paid, or however you want to say that. So I'll let them know about that date as well. And as well as the effective timeline.
Certainly, yep, no, that would be great, that would be great. I will get notice out right away, and we will plan on making changes to the profile, but confirming that it works for them as well before we go live with anything.
Okay.
Should work for me. Okay, I got it in my schedule.
Are there any questions or concerns about the recruitment process?
Nope, so when would you be saying it should be in the papers or what? When do you think you'll
Yes,
have,
what I will-
go ahead.
What I will do is once we get the profile revised, we get out there, I will send you a listing of all the places where it is posted.
Okay,
Obviously, League of Minnesota Cities, a number of different places where we have found candidates in previous recruitments will be included. So I will get an email out to you with a listing of all that information, as well as putting it obviously on the Melrose City website.
okay, perfect. All right, is there anything else?
That's it then.
All right, well then, council, can I get a motion to approve the step scale and for the date for the interview?
So
process.
We need the PUC, don't we?
As long as, yeah, we'll go along with the POC concurs.
Well, we have to have a special session with them.
We will have to have a special session with them.
So
Well,
what we vote on it then?
here would be the question. They've approved the salary top end, but did not, I guess in theory, did not approve the, well,
The scale adjustment.
right, but if we're maintaining the minimum at 119 and the maximum at 150, I believe that was my understanding, that they approved that.
We did.
The only change to the profile would be is putting in finalized dates, but the overall profile, the pictures, the verbiage and all those sorts of things, they were comfortable with and approved that. So I don't know that we need to have another session with them, but
Sure.
I can check with Connor to be sure on that. They would just be getting updated on the filler portions of it from tonight.
Well, then should we just concur with the date as of right now, that June 30th, the Tuesday, will be good? And if there is a major malfunction, you reach out to the commission tomorrow, and if it's good, if there's something, then we can always send out an email, okay?
Okay.
So, at least with this, concur with the profile with the 4 steps. Can I get a motion for that?
So move. Second.
All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion is carried. All right, well, thank you, Mr. Pat, appreciate it.
Thank you very much for your time. Have a great evening.
Yep, you too. Okay, we're on to B, the council consideration of resolution number 2026-18, approving the labor agreement and memorandum of understanding between the city of Melrose and the American Federation of State, County, and Municipal Employees, council number 65, local 0748. Was there any questions on that?
I don't have any.
All right, can I get a motion to approve it?
So move.
Second.
All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, motion is carried. Application for authorizing to dispense alcoholic beverages at a community festival, public property, the Melrose Chamber of Commerce, Riverfest 2020, June 26th through June 27th, 2026. Is there any questions or concerns?
I have to abstain from
I'll
that
make the
action.
motion. Second.
Okay, all in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, and one abstention from it. Okay. All right, then, 2026 Streets Improvement Project. Dave?
All right, as I mentioned in my report, I got 7 bids for the project, ranging from $267,035.75. From Melrose Construction, last year's project. So I'd like for Melrose, not to come back. So I'm asking for you guys to approve the low bidder of Joe Brown's Construction, the amount of $267,035.75.
I make a motion.
All right, all in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, motion carried. And Seal Coat Project. Hello, Mr. Andrew.
All right, 3 bids were open April 9th for the 2026 Seal Coat project. At this time, I'm asking that we go with Allied Blacktop, which came in the lowest bid of $73,475.20.
Okay, any questions or concerns? Can I get a motion to approve?
So move.
Second?
All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, motion carried.
And I got one other thing. Just want to reiterate on the point of contact, Chief Mouse, parks don't open until May. Please be considerate of our park systems, please stay off the grass with your vehicles. Please look at the roads and parking lots. You're doing a lot of damage to the grass right now, so just be considerate. We're working on it, so hopefully next week.
All right,
Thank you.
thanks. All right, so D is a police officer hire.
Yes, on April 10th, myself, Sergeant Nick Nicky, and HR Director Doris Reeland interviewed 2 candidates for full-time positions. Contingent offers were being presented to Miss Amanda Rossetti, as well as Mr. Alex Broadwell. Both offers were contingent upon a successful background check, psychological examination, pre-employment physical with a drug screen. We're recommending the hire of Miss Rossetti at step 1 on the wage scale, following a 6-month full-time employment and a favorable evaluation, moving to step 2, and the same recommendation is being done for Mr. Broadwell as well. These would bring us to number 5 and the additional number 6 that was approved by the council for 2026.
All right, can I get a motion for the first one for Ms. Rossetti?
Second?
All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, motion carried. And then for the second one, Mr. Broadwell.
So moved.
Second.
All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, motion is carried. Hiring of a seasonal temporary streets and park worker, I think it was Nathy. He was already approved by the PUC. Can I get a motion to approve?
So moved.
Second?
All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, motion carried. All right, then it's a early voting agreement with Stearns County. Is there any questions or concerns? We do it every year at this time for election year. It's just something we do every 2 years, so. Can I get a mo-
Made a mention about not finding enough judges or something. I didn't quite understand that piece of it.
He was concerned early on, but it sounds like he was able to fill, and then actually there's some outside, people from outside the Melrose area that are interested as well, so there should be plenty of judges from what he's seen as of now.
Thank you, Chief Mouse.
Okay. Can I get a motion to approve?
So moved.
Second.
All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, motion carried. Phase 2 environmental site assessment, deed scope proposal from the former Jenny-O Turkey Store plant.
Yes, this was a late addition, and if you would prefer, we can schedule a special meeting on this. We emailed out to you a phase 2 environmental study proposal from Brown Intertech. This would be to follow up with phase 1 and do actual drilling and dirt work and things on the JOTS site, both in the parking lot and in the other side of Fifth Avenue. We do have a deed grant in the amount of $50,000 to offset these costs. Our only cost would be the match, which would be the phase 1 and portion of this study. We're basically doing the environmental study to make sure we can get no association, or if there is anything, we don't know of anything, but they just want to dig a little further. I think we've talked about this in several meetings.
We have to wait till after closing for this part, right?
No, as soon as we deliver that agreement, that donation agreement, which is essentially a purchase agreement, they will allow access. So
Okay.
we can do it from the time of the purchase agreement to closing, but will let us start.
Okay. Yep, that would be good.
The only area that Mr. Kruger, our city attorney, had concerns about is that the liability is only for the 59,500. He's more comfortable, or has seen more commonly, up to whatever their insurance limits are. So if that's something that the council would like to basically counter with, that'd be a conversation. Is that sound right
Yes,
to you, Sheila?
that would be, we'll just see if they'll adjust the agreement to that point. But one of the things we talked about was making any vote you do tonight subject to any changes recommended by Attorney Kruger.
Any concerns?
I'd be fine with that.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right, can I get a motion to approve?
Second?
All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, motion carried. Informational items, next council meeting will be May 21st, 2026 at 6 PM. If there's anything else, can I get a motion to adjourn?
So moved.
Second?
All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, motion carried, meeting is adjourned.